Hey, my friends, I was just inspired to share what is happening all around the world. Like, millions of people have been affected by this truly powerful energy. So, let's just talk about it. Because I can see many people are going through such a powerful awakening. And when we're talking about this awakening, we're actually talking about greater awareness of the self. So people are recognizing right now that the only solution is making peace with ourselves. If we want to experience our lives in a greater light, we need to firstly make a peace with ourselves, right? So when I go into the comment section and I see so much love in the community, there's a lot of people and I see so much love in the community. That's what is inspiring me. And then I go outside and here and there I meet some people and people are talking about peace. People are talking about love. People are talking about how they, during this pandemic, they started taking greater care for themselves. They started working out. Some people started meditating. And it's all an aftermath of a greater awakening. So what is the greater awakening? A lot of times we're talking about the expansion of consciousness. When consciousness starts expanding, we start looking and thinking out of the box. So it means that we start firstly questioning everything, right? Many people are right now questioning everything. And people are saying like, I don't know what to believe right now. There's so many information. Even in the media, we can find like they're arguing between each other. Like people are writing, I don't know what to believe right now. And that's the beginning of a stage of a greater awareness. Well, maybe what I was perceiving for most of my life was a bunch of lies. So we awaken ourselves to the greater understanding where we say, well, what if the truth is completely somewhere else? Let's go on a journey to find the truth. What everybody is talking about when they are talking about the truth, what is that? Where can I find that greater connection with myself? And those people are finding out that actually money is not solving the problems. When we make peace with ourselves, we finally receive the solutions how to solve the problems. So once we make more money, we actually invest it into something which can enlighten the world. Right? So it's not the money that is solving the problems, it's the inner peace that is solving the problems. And that is a truly great realization. Many people right now are receiving downloads from the universe. This is so powerful. So what it means when we are receiving downloads from the universe, it means that in the middle of the night, you can wake up out of nowhere and you have that strange feeling. You feel like somebody just put a bunch of new information into your mind. And those information are about how the universe works, how your body should be nurtured. There are some new explanations or new concepts about what you've been wondering for some time. Or maybe there are some new truly powerful creative ideas about what you should do next or how you should start a project that you're thinking about for so long. Those are the downloads from the universe. Many people are experiencing that. And usually what is happening when we receive certain downloads, sometimes we feel a little bit dizzy. Sometimes we feel a bit of a brain fog because there's a lot of new information, a lot of new energy, and we need to adapt to it. So it's great if we go outside for a walk, for a longer walk, to balance that new energy. to ground ourselves, and just be. Eventually, this new information will settle and suddenly everything will become more understandable. So if you're feeling like you're receiving lots of downloads right now, just take it easy. You don't need to figure out everything immediately. Take your time. Take some rest. Do what you love. And for a moment, just forget about what is happening and truly pay more attention to what is bringing you joy in your life. And just do more of it. You will see that you will not forget this new information. It will settle, and suddenly you will just understand it. It's like our brain is just adapting to those new frequencies. Many people have been affected by that because the collective consciousness is rising, the vibration is rising, and more people are connecting to those higher vibrations. The purpose of that is so we would empower ourselves with greater actions. We would change our automatic behaviors for more conscious behaviors. We would start acting and reacting more consciously. We see on the world is right now present a lot of fear, a lot of panic, a lot of anger, and also stress and anxiety. So people are losing the control over their emotional state, and when it comes to that awakening of the greater consciousness, it also comes to a greater self-awareness. When we become more self-aware, we can easily recognize what kind of emotions we are experiencing. What are we going through right now? And that is what self-awareness means. To know yourself better. And if we want to know ourselves better, we truly need to learn to listen to our bodies. Learn to follow what our bodies are telling to us. If we sense a great level of fear, we can dig deeper into it and recognize from where that fear is coming from. Many times people will say, well, somebody said something that what will happen in the future, and then I've read something about it in the news, and then more people are talking about it. Of course I'm afraid. Look what is happening. There are so many proofs that it may happen. So people will say, yeah, all those different reasons. That's why I feel afraid. And I always say to you, when we become more present, which means when we get back into this moment, we recognize that actually not that our environment is triggering the fear. It's actually how we choose to observe our environment and how we choose to react to our observation. Which basically means that our perception of environment is triggering the fear. We can always choose to change our perception, to expand or awaken or open our mind. Well, if all those people are talking about all this negative stuff, let's search and find people which are talking about the opposite of that. Because if there are many people talking about something negative, there must be also many people which are talking about the opposite of that, or something better, something which is actually bringing us closer to the light, closer to the greater understanding of ourselves. So let's find them out. We all can recognize it, right? Because there's many people talking about awakening. There's many people spreading some good energy, some inner peace with everyone. There's many artists right now which are more productive than ever before, more creative than ever before. Just because this energy is now more present than ever, we can find many artists. In the past I was listening a lot of hip-hop. I loved like Tupac, I was listening Nas, I was listening KRS-One, and you know, all those hip-hop artists. But I was always more drawn into that what is called conscious hip-hop, where lyrics are are actually triggering us to become more self-conscious. KRS-One, I still love his music. And what I've noticed recently, many of those artists started making music again. Some of them were like for 5 or 10 years they were out, and suddenly many artists started producing art again. And some of them may be conscious about it, and some of them may not be conscious about it, but there's a lot of creative energy present. I know that because I'm an artist and I'm truly creative. Every single day I can sense what kind of energy is present, and I can use it for creating. That's how I'm able to share a message with you every single day. That's how I'm able to sit in front of a canvas and create a unique work every time I choose to do it. And we all can do it if we learn to read the energy, if we learn to connect with our creative self. That's the infinite internal dimension. So that's what happens when we start downloading data from the universe, and we wait a little bit so it can settle, so we can ground ourselves with that new energy, and then we learn to express it. We will always feel kinda urge to do something new. And if you feel an urge to do something new, like maybe you had a job for 20 years and you are not thinking much about changes, but suddenly now you want to completely change your life. Maybe the circumstances right now have pushed you into changes. It's all because your higher self wants you to change, or wants you to change your direction, because there's something bigger than you can imagine waiting you on the other side. So many of those things are happening right now, and I'm so happy to see. I'm so happy to see people waking up, getting back to recognizing their purpose. We all know that when we've been young, when we were young, we were all drawn into something, attracted to something. Maybe not consciously, or maybe we were. Doesn't matter, but we were doing things because we were attracted to it. And now it is happening again. Many people are feeling that magnetic force again towards certain things. And those of us who have started doing that, who have started following that magnetic force, those people have noticed that their life started changing completely for the better. They became happier, they started making more money, they became healthier, they started meeting people which are on an equal or similar mental, emotional and spiritual level, which is amazing. And also we are finding out that life is not about us. It's actually about people we touch. Right? So many people started helping others. Many people started building communities. Many people started gathering together and meditating in the spirit of unity. Because we all come from a unified field. A unified field of consciousness. We all come from there. And that's what is coming up back together. All that illusion of separation is falling apart, and slowly we are getting back together. Some will do it sooner, some will do it later. It's not about leaving anything behind. It's not about that some people will be left behind. Some people will just experience that awakening later. So, because I see some people are worried because they don't know what will happen if they will go through that awakening, and they will become more self-aware, and they will start living life out of their inspiration and happiness, but their family will still stay behind in misery or whatever. Some people are asking that. And I'm telling you, focus on yourself right now. Respect yourself. nurture your energy, and you will see that people who are appreciating your changes, people who can see, who can recognize that you're changing for the better, will automatically apply changes in their lives as well, because they will see that it's actually truly beautiful. But those who will not see it now, they will see it eventually. So don't worry about what will you lose behind, because we are never separated from anything. On deep soul level, soul conscious level, we are all connected. So we are never leaving things behind, even when we are changing forms. You know, energy is changing forms, but it is staying still just an energy in the core of it. Same is with us. Maybe we can change forms, maybe we leave our physical bodies behind, but we still stay alive and aware. And once we understand that, we truly understand that life is all about evolution, and evolution is a flow of creative energy. It is always changing. Nature is always changing. Everything is always changing. That's why we say that change is the law of life. So if we truly understand that, we will never worry about what we are leaving behind, because we are never separated from anything. So if you feel like those things are happening to you, just slow down a little bit and truly follow your feelings. Follow what your body right now is telling to you. Maybe you feel some heavy energy right now because your body is cleansing from all the toxicity, all the things which are not serving you anymore. And pay attention to your diet. Pay attention to your mental state. Pay attention to your emotional state and see what can you do about it. Meditation can help you with elevating yourself. Once we become more present, we can see that actually we are not the emotions. We are just experiencing emotions. And just that we become aware of that experiences, we will completely connect back with that internal peace. And at that state, we are able to elevate any kind of emotion. We can think about happiness, and we will sense happiness within the body. We can think about gratitude. What are we grateful for? And we will sense gratitude. We can think about abundance, how abundance feels like, and we will awaken abundance. That's how Dr. Joe Dispenza is also teaching. Because it's truly amazing. Once we disconnect from our reality for a moment and we become completely present, we can finally recognize that we are actually deciding how we want to feel, how we want to experience life, how we want to feel about ourselves, how we want to think about ourselves, what kind of beliefs we want to develop for ourselves. And this is truly amazing. So, because many people right now are going through that process, I'm sending you lots of love for that, because sometimes it may seem like a hard process. It feels unfamiliar. It feels uncomfortable sometimes. But remember that it's all a part of the changes. As we are changing, everything is changing, and sometimes we need to go out of comfort zone to experience more beauty, to experience greater results, greater manifestations, and greater opportunities. Serendipities will start happening, synchronicities will start happening. You will start seeing signs all around you, which you will feel like they were not present before. They actually were, but you were not able to see them because your mind was closed. Now you see it more clearly, and I'm happy for you. Keep it up with your process, and as I mentioned before, take care of your diet as well, because our diet can sometimes truly lower down our vibration if we If we just eat out of our automatic habits, we eat what feels good on that emotional level. Usually it's sugar and all other things like that. Pay attention that you're eating a lot of live food. Whatever can you find. A lot of live food will give you a lot of life. That's how our ancient ancestors were living. And there's a lot of truth in it, because as I've changed my diet in the past, I've started feeling better. I've started feeling more alive. And you know, in the past I remember I had this, after eating a meal, I had that feeling of a lower energy. And I really don't like that feeling, so I said, well, maybe I will change what I eat and I will see the results. So I started eating more live food, as much as I can find it. I started eating more of the live food, and I stopped eating meat at that time, not because it's popular or not because of certain belief or certain religion or whatever. We can find many of those different information about it, but because I felt that it's a right thing to do for me. So follow your feelings. Whatever you feel that is the right thing to do, do it, and you will see great changes in your life, because that's how we actually connect with that internal guidance. That's how to connect with your internal intelligence. It is always guiding you, always telling you what you need to do at this time, what you can do actually, because we have the free will, what you can do to improve the situation. So in tune with your intuition, with your heart, and follow it. This is it for today, my friends. I'm sending you all love, blessings, and lots of power. Have a beautiful day and see you soon. One love.